So out here now dealing with this leaky transmission cooler issue. What I did was I took my cooler to the shop, welded on this bracket here, and this bracket with a rib nut up here. Because before we just had like these little push through, like wire tie things that like go through the fins and then through the fins of the radiator, or in our case, the condenser. That's what comes with these little universal coolers. And, you know, I guess it worked okay, but they started coming loose, and then when I needed to screw with this, they were like, it was like just rattling loose against the condenser. So I figured since we're gonna be welding on these AN fittings anyway, that's another thing I did, is I welded on AN fittings onto the end of this so we could have AN fittings on these cooler hoses. And so now all I gotta do is figure out where I need to drill that hole for the top, and then we'll run a bolt right there to that top bracket. And this is going to share a bolt hole with our power steering cooler here. So I got the cooler installed now, and I didn't take, so actually my measurements and everything were perfect. I totally made all the brackets and stuff at the shop without even having the car with me, but I did not account for this power steering cooler because I actually planned to share that threaded bolt hole with it. And so I had to kind of mangle my bottom bracket there, and everything's kind of close and congested, but anyway, still works. So I got our PTFE line hooked up and everything installed, and let's start it up and see if it's gonna piss fluid everywhere. Alright, I got it running. My crappy little welds look okay. And I don't see anything leaking from those. They're just basic, normal like hose barbs. I think that problem is solved. Now I get the intercooler back on there and get it back together. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, looks like pressure goes around like 45, give or take. So, I'm having some fuel pressure concerns. Taking the car on a little test drive yesterday, I was finding that it was shooting lean when it would get into higher boost. Acting a little unusual. I kept adding fuel, and it was not helping. I got to where it was at, I was at 90% duty cycle, and I was still running lean. So I know something's wrong. I know we're losing pressure. So I got the fuel pressure gauge from work, and I'm gonna see what's happening. So if you turn around there, you'll see the gauge stuck to the windshield, and that's what we're gonna be watching on this drive. We're just gonna take a little ride and see what the fuel pressure does. All right, I'm gonna give it a little pull here. Let her get into some boost. Oh yeah. Fuel pressure dropped down big time. I saw that. Alright, that's all we need. We'll head back to the house. See how low it dropped on camera, because I didn't really get to see it. I was watching the wideband. Shot up straight up to like 15, 16 AFR. Whenever we switched it to a return style system, we had to plug some stuff up and do some things in the tank. And I think I know where the failure is in there, but I'm gonna pull it out and check it out tonight and come up with a game plan. Hopefully we can sort it out tomorrow right after work and still have time to make it to I-30 to do some drag racing and make some pulls. I'm dying to get this thing sorted. I'm really having to spend way more time working on it, like outside of Friday night, than I would like to. But that's one of the joys of not having the Corvette sitting in the garage anymore. I sold my Corvette, so now I can leave a race car there. And it affords me the opportunity to screw with it during the week without having to like make special trips. Be out all night, missing the wife's fresh cooked dinners. Greetings folks, boy Steve here, out here at I-30 Dragway once again. Tonight we've got the Z with us. We brought old Goldie because Ursula is acting up. We're having some issues with fuel pressure that we need to hammer out, but didn't really have what we needed to screw with that tonight, so we just came out here to have some fun with old Goldie, see if we can put down some low sevens and have a good time, eat some track burgers and do the deal we always do. Matt's over here making friendly with the neighbors. This is a fellow we just met named Cameron, and he's got a, hold on, sorry about that. He's got this old Cummins diesel right here that is running deep sixes. He just ran a 639. and he's gonna be competing in the 650 index tonight. So that'll be pretty cool to watch. This thing's such a big truck to be that freaking fast. But everything's pretty much unchanged with Goldie here. The transmission's still gonna be slushing through gears like always. Don't expect to put down any crazy times, but came out just for some test and tune and some good times, and we're just gonna try to get some cool video footage and put on a good show for everybody who thinks that this old piece of crap's slower than it looks. She was cooking, baby. Oh, sometimes I forget how fast this damn car is, man. She's freaking ripped. Everybody always honks driving past the track. Why are you honking? This guy can't race, he can't shut his door. All right, 740 for Matt. We'll see if that 60 foot is about the same as we were doing. We ran a 1.6 60 foot on the last pass, and that's not good enough for us. This is a easily like a typically 1.5 60 foot car, and oftentimes a 1.4. With me in the driver's seat and a 1.4 60 foot, we should be in the sixes. But it seemed like the transmission did what it was supposed to do. 7.4 is not terrible. Matt's quite a bit heavier than I am, so that's pretty typically the case. But we're gonna give it a quick cool down, and then I'm going to turn up the launch a bunch. I think the only reason we typically break axles is when we have a bunch of slippage. So we're gonna give it a real good burnout, just like Matt just did, and that's gonna help us keep from snapping axles. I think as long as it dead hooks a 1.4 60 foot, the axles will handle that.
Oh man, so that dude I just raced, his name's Cameron. He's been hanging out with us, parked over next to us. He's got an all-wheel drive 2500 Cummins diesel that just smoked the man. He is fast, bro. Wow. That was a good run. I mean, everything felt good. I didn't get to see my time. And they're not doing slips anymore, so we'll have to check the app when we get back. But man, I did not expect that truck that size to take off like that. Man, that's crazy. Didn't break. We gave it way more on the launch.
All right, just wrapping up another night at I-30 Dragway. Delicious burgers, good prep, and
Yeah, great night of racing. Made several passes. You know, they're running indexes too, and we still didn't have to wait,
yeah.
which is awesome. Oh, look at that moon.
Oh, I see it. Nice.
Right over the tower, dude.
Cool.
Nice.
Not a super eventful night, but the Z did, go multiple passes and deep sevens, and it's just really crappy DA out here. We're not breaking any records. The transmission's slipping through second, so
Well, we came and had some fun.
that's gonna do it for tonight.
Yeah.
We met a new buddy, Cameron, with the Dodge Ram.
Fast.
We ran into
Fast
our old
Dodge
buddy
Ram, yeah.
Mike with the F-body Trans Am, who we've seen out here before, and we got to know the track personnel, including the owner Keith, which was a nice little treat.
It's nice to start to see some familiar faces out here at the track too.
Yeah,
at,
just-
at I-30, you know.
Yeah, starting to get to know people, and this is just a super humble environment where you can just bring whatever you have and run it. Like, there's no discrimination about how fast you
That's
are.
definitely one thing that Keith, the owner, was saying. He just wants everybody to feel welcome to come bring what they have. Like, bring them and run them. You know?
Yeah, and there's a
It's
lot
awesome.
of that. I mean, there's a lot of street cars just out here seeing what they can do. But anyway, that's going to do it for this week. Next week, we're going to get down to the bottom of the Lexus's issue, and we'll be putting a much bigger fuel pump in it to try to get it going rounds again,
Sure.
and then we'll be out here with it again, hopefully the next weekend.
Soon.
So Z will probably be back on the back burner for now, but we do have plans for it coming up in the future, so stay tuned for that. But that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. We'll see you later.